Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Chaos Creates. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm here to share with you a layout I'm creating for Confessions of a Paper Addict. And yes, I am using the Hearty Hearts cut file again. I know you've seen a lot from the DT, but I wanted to use the remaining pieces. So I've got the stencil that I used in my last layout. I've taken all the inside pieces of the hearts and sprayed it in some gold glitter spray by Jen Hadfield. So now I'm going to use this paper here. Again, I'm using the These Days collections by Cocoa Vanilla Studio, and I wanted to add the hearts back onto this piece, and I will create two layouts today because I'm going to use the stencil kind of piece as well. But I wanted to place these hearts in the same position as the cut file. So I go ahead and place all them down and pop them up on foam adhesive. And so I'm just pulling off that stencil. So as you can see, it's all lined up there. And so I'm going to use that, but I'll come back to that layout. First of all, I'm going to take this stencil and place it down on this other heart paper, again, in that same collection. I really like the pink here, and I've got two photos that I'm scrapbooking today. And so sorry, take that off, cut a lot of that piece out because it was just my sewing machine stitching around the edge, and I'm just going to thread these cottons through to the back, and then I'll place some washi tape around the edges. But while I'm doing that, I will let you know that Confessions of a Paper Addict, there's lots of things happening. So make sure you're part of the group. I will leave a link below. There is some fun, exciting sales coming up for Black Friday. So make sure you're a part of the group and get to check it all out. So as you can see there, I've got this picture that I'm scrapbooking today. This is just of our new bed. We bought it back, I think, in June, and I was very excited. So I snapped a picture and wanted to document, our new bed and being really comfortable in a king size bed finally. So I'm going to place that there. So as you can see, the stencil was a bit buckled, and when I've stitched down, it's not quite straight, but layouts are handmade, and I think it's okay to not be perfect all the time. So I'm really happy with how this layout turns out in the end. So I love these colors. So I'm just going through the ephemera here just to pick out some different pieces that I can place around the layout. Now, these two layouts I keep relatively simple. They didn't need a lot. They had the beautiful cut files. So I was really excited just to be able to use up all the pieces of the cut file. So, the cut file that I use as a stencil, and also the inner pieces. And so I made three awesome layouts just from the one cut file. And so cutting that cut file once. This cut file is just so versatile, so it's awesome. So as you can see, I'm just playing around with all the different ephemera pieces, and I find this banner piece here, or this sticker, that is Home Sweet Home, and that ends up becoming my title. I have kind of separated out the ephemera pieces here because I was just finding in this collection I had way too much, and so I've separated out the florals, the fussy cut florals, and then the ephemera pack. So I have that little house sitting there and the sign that says home. Now, I think that other sign does say love, so that was good. And now I wanted to take this frame because I wanted to make it look like a picture frame, obviously, in the room. So this turns out really well. So I just fussy cut that out, and then I'm going to put this Home Sweet Home banner onto there and stick that down. Now, I did contemplate sort of cutting out those florals, but to be honest, it just felt too tedious and too, I just wanted to get these layouts done. I was creating, and I just really wanted to get them done and not make them too complex. So I'm just going to put some florals on the edge of that picture, and I'm just working out what to put there. And I like those different leaves. The black and white was good as well because there was quite a lot of color on the page. And so I'm going to create, essentially there's going to be three clusters. So one on the bottom right hand side of that photo, one on the left hand side, and then one up in that sort of top corner of the heart where Home Sweet Home is. and I'll add a floral there. So these sticker books are, oh, sorry, this sticker sheet is really good, and I do actually like how the backing comes off because I like to kind of place things down before I stick them. So I find that works really well for me when they sort of pop out of that sheet. So I'm liking how this is coming along, and I've got those 3 clusters going on. Like I said, I don't fuss too much with it. So the only thing is I do change out this peachy kind of floral because I wanted a little bit more there. So I'm going to add that sort of floral cluster that's already done, and I'm happy with that. So I'm going to stick everything down. I mainly use wet adhesive on this layout because I have got some mixed media in the background there. So I wanted to make sure. So that little sticker is "Let's stay home," which is, you know, perfect for this. A comfy new bed is a reason enough to stay home, and I think this was kind of, you know, this was certainly during lockdown, so you know, it made sense. I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. Oh, I was just getting some foam to back my photo and use around my layout. So I'm just bumping that up on some foam adhesive, and I'm going to use some wet glue here just to stick it down. And then use again the wet adhesive just to stick these down. I will put a bit of foam up just to make sure that that floral cluster is supported. But like I said, I don't fuss too much. Like I did have to go through the ephemera a little bit, but I keep it pretty simple, and I really, really like how this turned out. I love the stitching. Like I said, that piece looks a bit crooked on the page when I look at it, to be honest. You know, it's fine. I'm just going to put some foam adhesive there to bump up that home, and then again make sure that that frame is kind of sitting off the page, and I like how that's come along. So I'm just holding those bits down because I've glued them, but I'm going to add some gold, excuse me, some gold splatters. This is the Jen Hatfield one. It's very similar to the Heidi Swapp one, and I use it on everything, and I'm going through it very quickly. But I think that's about it for my first layout. So I am going to bring in the other page now, and this one is the one I started with, and so I've got those hearts all laid out, and I'm just going to back my photo first. I go through a couple of the 6x8 papers, or the A5 paper stack, I should say. But yeah, I decide on this green, and I keep this layout again super simple. I've got that peachy kind of color in the background, and then I really just use a lot of the green kind of elements. And I really like how it turned out. And I wanted to use this wood grain. I love wood grain. I mean, the cocoa vanilla wood grain is always amazing. So, you know, this one's no exception. So I wanted to back my photo there. So I'm just cutting that out with my big scissors, and again, putting some foam just on that edge because all of those hearts are bumped up with foam squares. And I'm just going through these sticky, puffy titles, and I'm going to pick out Happy Days. You will see later, I do end up cutting off the S because it was just really a happy day. We were out and about. I can't remember what time of year this was, but we were out and about. We went to a restaurant. I think we'd actually been looking for these. There was these art installations in and around Melbourne. They kind of look like big wombats. That sounds really weird, but yeah, they were really fun. You had to kind of go around the city and find all of these different art installations, and so there was 100 around the city, and we found them all and had so much fun. But this was one of those days where we were, you know, finding them. It had been raining, but we, you know, made it to a restaurant and just enjoyed a nice late lunch together. So like you can see, I'm just placing around these florals around my photo, again keeping it super simple. I'm trying to get a banner piece to work at the top there. I do, that's a bit off camera, but I do go ahead and add a heart banner up in that top right-hand corner because Seb is looking into the page. I kind of wanted to draw that focus, and so that top right-hand corner was it. I'm just going through the A5 stack again and seeing what I can pick out from you know, from these cut apart sheets, and I find Oh Happy Day from this one here. So I'm just going to cut that. But like I said before, if you aren't part of the Facebook group, go ahead and join. I'll leave links below. I'll also leave a link to this cut file. Oh, sorry, this cut file is still free in the Facebook group. So you can go ahead and check it out there. I won't have links to the actual cut file because it's not on the Etsy store yet, but it will be at some stage. Yes, this cut file is just free for another few days, so make sure you join and get it while it's there. Like I said, there'll be lots of fun things happening towards the end of November for the Black Friday sales, and there's heaps happening for December. So please make sure that you go ahead and join. I can't emphasize it enough. It's going to be fun. So I'm just going through, and I've picked out this piece here. I'm just cutting it out from the cut apart sheet, and this is the 12 by 12 cut apart sheet, because it still had that sort of greeny color, and it says time spent together is better. So I'm just putting that green love heart banner at the top, and I'm going to put that at the top of my title and just stick that down on the hearts. And I really like, it's very simple layout. As you can see there, I'm just cutting off the S, and I'm just going to glue this other piece down, the Oh Happy Day, and that other sticker is family time. So I wanted a border, but I didn't want to have to stitch, and every time I use these white gel pens, they never work properly. So I'm going ahead and using this Stabilo white pencil, and that works much better. So I'm just drawing a border around there. It's really messy border, but I like how that looked. I think in hindsight, I probably would have added some white splatters instead of this gold. Maybe I'll go back and do that. But that's almost it for both of my layouts. So I hope you enjoyed seeing all the ways that this cut file can be used. It's so versatile. I know all the team have used it, and it's super fun. So I'll leave you with some close-ups. Thanks, everyone. Bye.